Before we get to the big news, I want to say that I don't think that the sky is falling. This is not horrible news for people who like Stadia. This is not horrible news for anybody, really. At least I don't think so. At least not now. So what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about Microsoft just purchased Bethesda. So why is it that I'm not worried? Well, because every game platform holder right now, they all seem to have their own approach to how they want to try and gain customers in this increasingly crowded industry. Let's start with what Google's doing with Stadia. They don't want you to have to buy a box at all. They just want you to buy the games that you want to play, and then you play them off of the server. And for me, I think that that's the best move. I think that's the best way to go. But it's not the best for everybody. You know, there's people who don't have fast enough internet speeds in order to be able to take advantage of that. And I understand that completely. And for those people, they're always going to want to have a box in the house, at least until internet speeds that are high enough are ubiquitous enough to be everywhere. Then there's Microsoft. Microsoft, instead of, I mean, they're still holding on to, you know, buy the box mentality, but they're dabbling in the cloud just a little bit. And they are really leaning into that subscription model instead, where, you know, you subscribe for this game, but it also gets you access to so many other games that it's kind of crazy not to subscribe to it if you've got a piece of hardware that can run these games. And I think that that's also pretty compelling. And if you ask me, I think that Game Pass, dollars to donuts, that is the best bang for your buck that you're going to find right now. Then there's PlayStation. PlayStation is very much rooted in, we want to sell you a box. And in order to sell you this box, we're going to lock down as many exclusives as we can, which is the way that everybody used to do things. And, PlayStation still is doing things, I feel like, the old way. And then there's Nintendo, who always does their own thing in their own way and does it in a weird way, but they just want you to have this little portable tablet that you can bring around. It's not quite powerful enough to do what the other guys are doing, but it doesn't matter because Nintendo's so good at optimizing their games for the hardware that it just runs beautifully almost every single time. So everybody's doing their own thing in order to try and get into consumers' wallets. And for me, I think that the two that I'm the one that I'm least interested in is PlayStation, because they are fully old school and they're not really doing new things, in my opinion. They're just doing old things faster or prettier. And that is less interesting to me. Now, if Sony had made this purchase, oh man, that would have made me a little scared. Like, oh man, I'm not going to be able to play these games unless I buy a PlayStation. But Microsoft, I feel like they're playing a different game. They seem to be one of the companies, and Google also is like this. They seem to be one of the companies that understand that if you buy their game, even if it's not on their platform, they still make money. They recently, a few years ago, they purchased Mojang. I don't know how to say it. How do you say it? Let me know. They purchased the company that makes Minecraft, but you can still play Minecraft on everything. Just a couple of days ago, there was a Nintendo Direct Mini, a partner showcase, where Nintendo was showing off some of the new games that are on their way to Nintendo Switch, and one of those games was Ori and the Will of the Wisps, which was a Microsoft published game. So a lot of people are worried that, Elder Scrolls 6 or Elder Scrolls Online or Doom Eternal 2, all of these games won't come to the platform of their choice. And I don't think that's true. I think Microsoft's endgame here is, instead of trying to lock up exclusives like Sony would do, what I think that they're doing instead is trying to make Game Pass as absolutely, what's the word I'm looking for? Absolutely attractive. They want you to have no choice but to open up your wallet and say, here's my X dollars a month so that I can play all of these games without having to buy them. And I think that that's a really good proposition. But I also think that they'll say, you know what, if you don't have Game Pass, that's totally fine. If you're on PlayStation, if you're on Stadia, if you're on Nintendo and the Switch can run it, then we'll sell that to you too. Because at the end of the day, Microsoft understands that not everybody is going to get an Xbox, and they're leaving money on the table if they leave that stuff out. So the sky isn't falling. I think everything's going to be okay. What do you guys think of this acquisition? Let me know in the comment section down below. Have a good one. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.